Hi sisters, it's Travana here, and today we're going to be talking about mindful eating versus mom eating. Now before we get into it though, I do want you, if you guys can, please hit the like button, subscribe to the new channel, hit the notification bell so that you'll receive notifications, and please share with any sisters who you believe could benefit from these videos. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. I really like to respond to the questions if I can, Lord willing. Now, we're going to be talking about mom eating versus mindful eating. You guys know that I'm no expert. I have no medical degrees under my belt. I just like to research, and I like to share my research with you so that I can help us all become better Christian women. Now we know that iron sharpens iron, and together we make each other strong. Now I'm going to be quoting some things, some information directly from the resources that I used, so you should find the references listed somewhere around here. Now, mom eating versus mindful eating. And again, please forgive my audio, but we all know what mom eating is. We do this all the time. It's when we're eating, we're running around, we're stuffing something in our mouths, we're gobbling it down super duper fast as we try to quickly solve problems before any chaos ensues and takes over our lives. Now that's mom eating. Mindful eating is quite the opposite. Mindful eating means that we're eating thoughtfully, mindful about our meal and the effects that it can have on our body. Will it help us or will it hinder us? Now, there are actually two aspects of mindful eating that I like to think about. I don't know if they're all encompassing, but to me, they're the two that I think about. And the first is meal prep. Does this meal make sense? Now, in this video, we won't be talking about that. We won't be talking about nutrients, portion sizes, or anything like that. We're not going to be talking about meal prep. We're going to be talking about pace. How fast are we eating? Because rushing through our meals can be stressful, and it can stress our bodies, which we know could cause negative long-term effects down the line. So again, mom eating versus mindful eating. We're going to get all into the reasons of why mindful eating is better. We're not even going to really talk about how mom eating is bad for our bodies, our health, our mood. We're not going to talk about that because it's just part of life. We already know we're going to do it. It's par for the course. As Christian women, sometimes we just rush through our meals. We're busy moms. But the goal of this video is to point out the benefits of mindful eating, and pace in particular, so that we're more aware of our eating habits and less likely to mom eat when we don't have to. So the hope is that we will have a better idea of what we're doing and use this knowledge as motivation to limit the mom eating as much as possible throughout the day. So, according to the crew at Precision Nutrition, some of the benefits of mindful eating include better digestion, better hydration, easier weight loss and management and maintenance, and also greater satisfaction. And we're really going to dive into the greater satisfaction first, because this alone can make a world of difference. Eating is a very soothing time. It comforts us. It caters to our emotions. It caters to our desire to hang out and build connections. It caters to so many needs. But when we rush through our meals, it may feel like the moment ends too soon. And to remedy this, we may want to keep eating even though we've actually reached our limit. Now, this leads us to a sudden feeling of being overstuffed, uncomfortable, and even guilty and ashamed. Now, of course, when we start our meals, we often think that we're going to be able to stop on command or on demand. We trust that we're going to have self-control. Now, I always reference Galatians chapter 5, verse 23, the fruit of the Spirit here, because self-control is super important. It goes into everything we do. It's a very spiritual thing, and we should take that everywhere. But honestly, self-control begins before a situation. And when it comes to controlling our meals, it's near impossible unless it's premeditated with a commitment to eat slowly. Now, that's because of something known as satiety. Satiety is a desire to limit further food intake after a satisfying meal. Now, some simply refer to it as feeling full after a meal, but it's really a little bit more than that. It's defined as a state of non-eating characterized by a lack of hunger. And it means that all of our food needs have been met, including taste, social, emotional, and nutritional. Now, the reason we're discussing satiety today is because satiety actually comes along before or earlier than our body is able to digest its food. So when you hear people say things like, well, it takes about 20 minutes for your brain to tell your tummy that it's full, that's because of satiety. Now, we reach satiety when our hypothalamus, which is part of the central nervous system, regulates the amount of food desired. The hypothalamus is a cone-shaped structure, and it connects to many other regions in our brain, and it allows our intellectual and our functional signals, as well as external signals, to include our physical and emotional stresses, to be funneled into the hypothalamus to the endocrine system. So from the endocrine system, these signals are able to exert their effects throughout the body. This includes regulating hunger, body temperature, sleep, and other activities. Eating is thought to increase our body temperature, and as the temperature in the hypothalamus rises, the processes of desiring food decreases. Now, there's a lot more science and discussion to be had concerning the hypothalamus. We can get into leptin receptor deficiency, and so much more. And we will explore those as we explore satiety and overeating on this channel, Lord willing. We're going to save all of that for another day. But for now, we're going to get into gut digestion and how mindful eating can benefit our digestion process. And I know this is going to be a little bit technical, but bear with me. Our design is so amazing. So this process is very, very amazing. But it starts in our mouth, and our saliva enzymes break down all of our food into little, breaks down our food. Then our teeth chomp. Our teeth just chomp it up, and then it goes down to our esophagus where it meets our digestive juices. From there, it goes down to our stomach, and it meets the acids in the stomach, and the stomach acid and the stomach muscles break it down even further. And at this point, our liver, our gallbladder, and our pancreas come into play. Now, they're the solid organs that are involved in digestion. Up until now, all the organs that we've been discussing are connected. They're connected parts that basically make one big tube of digestion from one end to the other. Your liver makes enzymes called bile, and it digests some fats and some vitamins. Then your gallbladder holds that bile in between eating. The pancreas has some pancreatic juices and some enzymes, and it breaks down carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. It also creates bicarbonate that shoots into your small intestine to neutralize acids from the stomach. The digestion juices from these three organs travel through a small system of interconnected ducts to the upper part of your small intestine. And with that, we're finished with the solid organs, and we're back to focusing on the giant interconnected tube. So we're at the small intestine. So your small intestine, it also makes digestive juice, which mixes with the bile and the pancreatic juice to complete the breakdown of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Your small intestine moves water from your bloodstream into your GI tract, your gastrointestinal tract, to mix with the food. Then your small intestine also absorbs the water with other nutrients. So then we're on to your large intestine. And in your large intestine, most of the water is extracted from your food, and then it's moved into your bloodstream. And so the bacteria in your large intestine help to break down the remaining nutrients and make vitamin K. Waste products of digestion, including parts of food that are still too large, become stool. And as moms, we all know what that is. Digestion is important because your body needs nutrients from the food that you eat. And I know we got technical, but the food that you eat, the drinks that you drink, need to help you stay healthy. And so you focus on your macronutrients, which are your proteins, your fats, and your carbohydrates, and then your micronutrients, which are your vitamins, minerals, and even your water. Our digestive system breaks these nutrients into small parts that are small enough for your body to absorb for the energy, growth, and cell repair. So when you eat too fast, I said all that to say this, when you eat too fast, you're actually preventing your body from going through the process that it needs to go through to keep you healthy. Big clumps are hard to digest. They ruin your gut flora, and they can cause all types of problems, including irritable bowel syndrome, leaky gut syndrome, decreased mental functioning even, and allergies, and so many more challenges. Mindful eating definitely puts our bodies in a better position to work with our food and have it work for us and not against us. The next thing that I want to discuss is how mindful eating affects our food intake and weight management. We already discussed how slowing down means less food by way of staying on pace with satiety. But I wanted to show that in numbers by way of caloric intake and to make it perfectly plain and clear for us. And I want to do this because, Lord willing, in the future, we're going to be talking about the importance of calorie deficiency. And I want us to be mindful of some of those subtle ways in which we end up ingesting too many calories. Now, I do this, and too many calories means too much for our bodies to handle for proper weight gain, weight management. And now this study comes directly from Precision Nutrition, and it references a study done by the University of Rhode Island. And in the study, researchers served lunch on 2 different occasions to 30 normal weight women. The meal in both cases consisted of an enormous plate of pasta with a tomato vegetable sauce and some Parmesan cheese, along with a glass of water. Now, at each visit, researchers instructed the women to eat to the point of comfortable fullness. But during the first visit, they also told them to eat as quickly as possible. While on this second visit, they were told or asked to eat slowly and put their utensils down between bites. So when the researchers compared the differences in the food consumption between the quickly eaten lunch and the slowly eaten lunch, here's what they found. When eating quickly, the women consumed 646 calories in 9 minutes. When eating slowly, the women consumed 579 calories in 29 minutes. Now that's 67 less calories in 20 more minutes. That's approximately 72 calories per minute for the first meal and 20 calories per minute for the second meal. So if you multiply that by the amount of meals eaten during a day, it can make a huge difference. This is definitely something that will affect any attempt to maintain a daily calorie deficiency for weight loss and management. Now, we don't need to obsessively count calories, but learning to eat mindfully would go a long way to prevent huge, unwanted calorie deposits on our body. Finally, I want to get to hydration, because although you may find sources that tell you not to drink water at the same time you eat your meals, there are other sources who suggest that eating while drinking is totally fine. So the opponents of drinking water while eating suggest that you will weaken your stomach acids and hinder proper digestion. On the flip side, the proponents of drinking water while eating suggest that your stomach acids are up for the challenge. They don't believe that you have a preset amount of acid available per meal and that your stomach will produce what's necessary when it's needed. I haven't delved into it too much, but I do know that we have an awesome designer and that our bodies can take a lot. However, I also know that there are things that we can do to experience optimal body performance. Now, whether this particular topic is one of those things, I'm not sure. But I'll find out more if I can, and if I do, I'll be sure to let you know, Lord willing. So currently, I don't have a super firm stance on this, although I do try to avoid large amounts of fluids with my meal. And I'll admit this mindful part of my meat eating did start after I read one of those "you shouldn't drink water while eating" articles. So I don't know. There are varying articles, or varying arguments rather, and you're just going to have to research and do what's best for you. Another reason that I personally try not to gulp large amounts of liquid with my meals is because most days I'm OMAD, intermittent fasting. OMAD is OMAD, and it means that I eat only once a day. 1 meal a day, OMAD. So we can discuss intermittent fasting and the benefits in another video. And again, I'm not OMAD every day, but most days I am. But we'll discuss that in another video. I also try to get a nutrient-dense meal. I try to get enough nutrients and calories in that meal to sustain me. I need to get everything in that one big meal, which is, I like to eat big meals anyway. So also, my meal is usually at the end of the day. So if I've done what I need to do, then I should be well hydrated and I don't need to have a desire to gulp. But overall though, sipping water, if you're putting your utensil down and you have a good pace, should be fine. As long as you're sipping and not gulping, also will help prevent choking. I think it should be fine, and it should definitely help your hydration. Okay, sisters, that's it. I do hope I have laid out an argument as to why we should avoid mom eating or even grandma eating as much as possible. Again, I know it's gonna happen sometimes, at least I'm sure it will happen for me. I did it today, and in all transparency, I did it a bunch while I was preparing this video. But Lord willing, we'll all do better moving forward. Again, please share this video with any sisters you know. Subscribe if you haven't already, and that's it. I hope you guys have a great God bless day, and remember to take a minute to focus on your fitness, nutrition, and safety. It will be a blessing for you and for those who love you. Bye now. Guys, have a great day. God bless.